Gentlemen, gather around. We are going to get started. It is auction time. My phone clock says 11 o'clock, so it is time to get started. I will go over the details of the property and go over the terms and conditions, and if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask us before we get started in the auction process. So this morning we have approximately 26.81 acres, woodland located above on the mountain. I'll go over the terms and conditions, and then we'll get a little bit of the property specifics. So on the successful purchaser today, the terms are $10,000 deposit check if you're the successful purchaser. We ask that you sign copies of the sales agreement. The balance is due by June 23rd, 2023 or before. If you want to settle before, I'm sure that Alan is probably okay with that, just as long as the buyer and seller agree. The buyer pays a 2% transfer tax at settlement. Your annual taxes on here are approximately $48 a year, and the property isn't clean and green. So if you go out to a steakhouse, you're probably going to spend more than the taxes on this property. So extremely cheap investment, extremely cheap property taxes. Couple of details on the property is there is a right-of-way off of East Flat Road, right to my right where our auction sign is. The right-of-way starts there, and it goes all the way up to the property. There is also a right-of-way that runs through the property that the neighbor, I believe it's Wally Yoder, he has the right to use that right-of-way as well, so just as long as you're for sure clear on that. So there is access to the property, and then the neighbor, Mr. Yoder, also has a right-of-way to use that lane to get back to his. And that right-of-way will be recorded with the new deed at settlement as well. So again, the successful purchaser, $10,000 deposit if you do purchase today, and basically sign a sales agreement. All realty transfer taxes will be paid. As I mentioned previously, the title has to be a guaranteed, clear, marketable title at settlement, and anything on the title would have to be taken care of. Another thing I wanted to mention is back in 2011, this property here was under and subject, I'll just read what it says, under and subject and together with any obligations and rights relating to a memorandum of a wind energy lease agreement dated January 31, 2011. So my understanding was Alan at the time had gotten some payments off of that, but that lease was self-expiring. According to attorney Richard Gingrich, said that the lease was self-expiring in 5 years if windmills didn't go on the property, and to our knowledge there's no windmills in the area on the property. So as far as I know, that lease is expired as far as we could tell. So outside of that, that's pretty much the standard terms and conditions of sale. Anybody have any questions as far as on the right-of-way, anything before we start the bidding process? We want to make sure that everybody's comfortable, so feel free to ask us anything before we get started. Okay, I don't see anything, and I want to make sure and be clear on the right-of-way. It starts right over here off of East Flat Road, goes back up to the property, and again, Mr. Yoder, the neighbor beyond this property, has the right to use that right-of-way as well. So just want to make sure we're super clear on that. So if there's no questions, again, we got about 26.81 acres vacant woodland. There's been no recent perk tests done. You do have a nice trail there, roadway that goes through the property. And it does not have any buildings. There's no cabins, no homes, no anything on it. So again, vacant tract of woodland. So I think with that, we're about ready to go. Representing Byler Campbell today, we got Harold Martin to my right. We got Jeff Fortenbaugh right here. So you can feel free to turn your bids into any one of us. And we want to make sure not miss anyone. Typically, the way we structure our auctions is we'll sell for a few minutes, and then we'll take a brief intermission. We talk to our seller. We come back out. We open it up for one more round of bidding, and then at the end of that, the auction is concluded. So if you're here, if you're interested, help yourself. So I think if Jeff is ready, if Harold's ready, I think we're good. Harold, are you good? Yep. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, look in. Got a starting bid of $50,000, and we'll take it from there. $50,000, asking 60, and now $50,000, not a bidding body, not a bidding $60,000, not a, and now 50, 60,000, not a bidding body, not a bidding 60 grand, not a bidding 60,000, 50, 60, 60,000, not a, and now 50,000, not a bidding body, not a bidding 60,000, not a 50, 60, 60,000, not a, and now 50,000, not a bidding body, not a bidding 60 grand, not a bidding 60,000, not a 50, 60, 60,000, not a, and now 60, and now 70 grand, and now 70,000, 70,000, 70 grand, 70,000, 60,000, 70,000, and now 70 grand, 70 grand, and now 70,000, 70,000, 60, 70, 70, 70,000, and now 70 grand, 70 grand, 70,000's all, 70, 80, and now 80 grand, 80,000, and now 80,000, 80,000, 70 is bid, asking 80, and now 75, help him, and now 75,000, and now 75,000, 75, 70,000's bid with Harold, asking 75, and now 75,000, and now 75 grand, 70,000, 75,000, and now 75,000, 75, 75, and now 70,000 bid, asking 75, and now 75,000, 75, and now 70,000, 75, and now 75,000, 75, 70,000, asking 75,000's all, and now 70 grand, and now 70,000, 75, 75. I think we all know we got a lot more property than money right now. Again, this is a 26-acre piece. If you want recreation, you want to get out, hunt something, you want to hunt, trap, whatever you want to do on it, it's an excellent recreation piece. So, and it's located right here in Big Valley, so you got an excellent location on it as well. So, just want to make sure we don't miss anyone. But again, we typically don't beg you too long. So, if you're interested, you want in, don't be bashful. Just help yourself. 70,000 with Harold. Is that right? 75. And now 75 grand. And now 75,000. And now 75, 5, 75, 5, and now 75,000, 70,000 bid, asking 75, and now 80 grand, and now 80,000, 80, 75, 80,000, and now 80,000, and now 75, 80 grand, 80,000, 75, 80,000's all, and now 75, 80,000, 80 grand, 75, 80,000, and now 75,000 bid, asking 80,000, and now 80 grand, 80 grand, 75, 80,000, and now 80,000. Now want to go over here, 80,000, 75, 80 grand, and now 80,000, 75, 80,000. You know, at this price, if you put a perk test up there, assuming it would pass, you know, you could have a nice little cabin or whatever you like up there. So it, as far as I know, there's no restrictions against any building on it. So as long as you get a valid perk, or if you do an off-grid, or as long as you get your permitting done, you'd have a nice little piece of property where you could have a nice little getaway, weekend getaway, whatever you'd like. So very affordable price, 75. So we don't want to push or hurry anyone, but at the same time, we try to wrap things up in a timely manner. So we won't take another intermission. We won't take another break. Whoever is the high bidder at the end of this is going to own the property. So if you're here today, if you're serious about buying it and owning it, make sure and get in. Make sure we don't miss you. We just want to make sure everybody gets their opportunity. So, Harold, if you're good, I think we're ready to go. 110,000. This is now an absolute auction. 110, 115, and now 110,000. 115,000. 110, 115, and now 110,000. 115,000, and now 110, 115, and now 115,000. 115, 110, 115, and now 115,000. 115,000, and now 110. I'll go 112 if that helps anybody. 110, 112, and now 110,000, 112,000, 112, 115, and now 115, now 117, and now 117, now 120, 20, 20, 122, 122,000, and now 120,000 is bid. I'm asking 122, Harold Gerald, 122, 122, and now 120,000, 122, and now how about you, Lee? You want in 122, and now 222, how about the little guy? And now 122, 122, 120,000, asking 122, and now 122, and now 120,000, asking 122, and now 122, Harold, are they done? 122, 122,000, and now 120,000 bid, asking 122, and now 122, is everybody done and everybody through, and now 122, 122,000, and now 122, 122, 120,000, 122, are we done? And now 122, Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to make a few more rounds. Again, I think we've mentioned everything that we're aware of on the property and there are know of. Mentioned the right-of-way, mentioned the previous wind lease. Hasn't been timbered anytime recently, but Alan told me that there's not much mature timber up there, but still it's wooded still. You got some trees. It's on the upper side of the mountain, but it is what it is. So you got a nice little piece for recreation. That's probably what it's ideal for, hunting or trapping or whatever you like to do. Nice little piece to get away on the weekend and get some peace and quiet. It is really peace and quiet up here on the mountain, and so it's just a nice little spot to get away. So we're gonna give you a little bit more chance. If you want in, make sure to let us know. 120,000, asking 122, and now 122. No mistakes. The bid's with me over here on the left-hand side. Harold, you're out. 122, and now 122,000. And now 122, 122, 120,000, asking 122, and now 122, 122, 120,000, 122. Thank you. 125, and now 125, and now 127, and now 127. Harold, you're out again. 127, 77, 127, and now 125,000, asking 127, and now 127,000, and now 127, 77, 127 tall, and now 125,000, 127, 127,000, and now 127, 77, 27, 125. Are you done? 127, and now 130, and now 130, 132, and now 132, 130,000, asking 132, and now 132, 132,000, and now 130, 132, and now 132, 132. Are we done? 130,000. Is everybody done? And now everybody through. 130, 132, and now 130,000. 132, 130,000, 132, and now 132. Are they done, Harold? 132, and now 132, 132. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make 3 more rounds. If the bidding is not advanced, we're going to sell the property to the highest bidder. Round number 1 from my left to right. Just to confirm, I've got the bid. Harold, your man's out. 130, 132, round number 1. And now 130,000, and now 132, 130,000, and now 132, round number 2, 130,000 bid, asking 132, and now 130,000, 132, and now 130,000, 132, and now 130,000, 132, and now 132, 132. Third and final round, unless the bid gets advanced. 130 is bid on the left-hand side. 130,000. I'm asking 132. And now 130, 132. And now 130,000. 132. And now 132, 132. And now 135. And now 135, 135, 137. And now 137,000. And now 137, 137,000. The bid's at 135,000. I'm asking 137. 137, 137,000, and now 135, 137, 135, 137, and now 137, they still talking it over, and now 137, 135,000, 137, and now 137,000, 137, 137, 77, now 137, and now 135, 137, and now 137,000, 137, 135, and now 135, 137, and now 137,000, and now 135, 137. We'll try it again. 135, round number 1, left to right. 135, asking 137, and now 135,000, 135, 137, 77, 137, and now 135, 137, 77, now 137. Round number 2, 135, 137, and now 135,000, 135, 137, and now 135,000, 137, 777, 137. Third and final round, unless the bid gets advanced. Just to confirm, 135,000 on the left-hand side. Harold Germain's out. Asking 137, third and final round unless the bid's advanced. 135, 137, and now 135,000 out of 137, and now 137,000 out of the body paid, out of the body, out of the 137, 135, 137, 135,000 out of the body, out of the 137, $137,000 and head. Sold the property, $135,000. Gentlemen to my left, thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all the interest in the property. Thank you so much, everybody that came out today.